Okay, we have Will Honas here, and first question, Andy Kendi, KETV.
Well, you guys standing where you're at with your record and whatnot, with 2 games left, 3 games left, really. What do you guys have to prove these next couple weeks, and what's the motivation here down the stretch?
Every week we got an opportunity to compete and get better, and the season hasn't went as planned, but we still have an opportunity to finish it strong. We can finish with 3 wins, and that'd be ideal to finish 500 and get some momentum for next year.
Steve Sipple, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Iowa manages 2.9 yards per carry against you guys, and they had been running the ball well. How do you feel about that particular stat and just the defense's play in general after the kind of the setback against Illinois?
I felt pretty good about the way we played on defense. Obviously, we stopped the run. That was our plan coming into the game. We saw what they were saying, that they needed to run the ball to win and be more physical than us. So I felt like we kind of took it to them and were able to stop the run pretty well. But at the end of the day, that wasn't enough, and it's really got to come down to we've got to find a way to force a turnover. We've got to find a way to win on special teams, because no matter how well you play on defense, you have to be good in all 3 phases of the game.
At 1-4, how do you feel like the buy-in team-wide is right now?
I think the buy-in on our team's really well. It's been good the whole season. Guys are still coming to work every day. There's still a lot of energy in practice, and it's just about executing. We've got the guys in the room we need. It's just going to be about everybody doing their job and coming to work every day.
Thank you, Will.
Andrew Ward, KLKN.
Hey, Will, what kind of boost did Colin Miller give you guys on the sidelines, and then what kind of role has he played in your career and your development?
Colin's definitely helped a lot. On the field, he's a great communicator, a really good player, and he brings everybody up when he's on the field, and he makes everybody around him better, and that's just a credit to the type of player and leader he is. And even though he hasn't been playing, he's still helping. He's in meetings, he's in practice, he's still bringing guys up. You can see him on the sideline. He brings the energy, and I'm really grateful to be playing with Colin, and hopefully he'll be back soon.
Omaha World Herald, Evan Bland.
Hey, Will, you see the offense every day in practice. I'm curious what stands out to you about the running backs every day, whoever it might be, and has that been at all different from what that group has shown in games?
Yeah, I think we've got a good, talented group of running backs. They're young. Experience is huge in college football, and I think the more reps those guys get, the better they'll get. And I think it's just a matter of time before those guys really take off and keep improving. And obviously we're missing Diedrich right now, and hopefully he can get back soon and give us a boost in the run game.
Lincoln Journal-Star, Parker Gabriel.
Hey, Will, what's been the biggest improvement for you in your mind? Is it about being another year off of the knee injury, or are you seeing the game better? What has allowed you to become more of an all-around player this year?
I'd say it's just a combination of a lot of things. Knee feels good, and then I'm really confident in the guys around me right now. The defensive line's playing really well. The other linebackers are doing a really good job setting edges, and I think my play is just reflective of my teammates and coaches, and those guys have really stepped up their game, and that's brought me along as well.
Husker Online, Sean Callahan.
Hey, Will, I'm just curious. I know you guys lost last week, but how big of a step forward do you think the defense took just with the improvements you made against Iowa versus Illinois the week before?
Yeah, we knew we needed to bounce back. The way we played was unacceptable to our standard, and we knew we needed to come in and stop the run. Iowa's a good zone, downhill running team, so it was big for us to come back and get some momentum for the rest of the season and try to really get our fits down and play well.
And I'm curious just to gauge, you're a senior, been around for your 3rd year, with a couple of games left here in December. What are guys playing for? I mean, when everyone's motives are different, what are your thoughts? What are guys playing for here down the stretch of this season?
I think every time you step on the field, it's what you put on tape is who you are, and it's got to be a pride thing, you know. Our record isn't great, but you never want to put something on tape you're not proud of. And every play, the eye in the sky never lies. So every play you got to bring it, and you're going to be judged no matter how you play, good or bad.
Kevin Suits, KOLN.
Hey, Will, curious what you know about Purdue. Obviously, they like to throw the ball. They're throwing for more than 300 yards per game. What have you seen out of them early on in your preparation for the Boilermakers?
Yeah, they've got two really talented receivers. We're gonna have to be really prepared. They have a lot of different like junk plays, and they're really creative in the ways they get their playmakers the ball. So everyone's gonna have to be really assignment sound. Trust your technique, trust your eyes, and be ready to try to stop those guys.
Ms. Sherman, The Athletic.
Well, you seem to be a pretty good example of somebody who shows that time in the program can really transform you and transform the impact that you make as a player. And I know you obviously were coming off of an injury in your first year, but you know what has the couple of years that you've had, the time that you've put in with Coach Rude in the weight room, done for you, and you know making you ready to do what you're doing this year?
Yeah, there's a lot of credit due to this staff. Our weights coaches do a great job getting you in shape, getting you stronger, faster, and then all off season, you know, we were doing extra meetings through Zoom, trying to stay in the film room, keep learning, get a better understanding of this defense, and a lot of credit to our coaches, and they've done a really good job of keeping us working throughout the off season, and I think defensively we've really improved this year.
I mean, with you individually, like what do you think that the months that you've had to learn how have they impacted you in a positive way?
I would just say really understanding everyone's assignments on defense allows me to know what I'm doing and play faster. When you really have a good understanding of what everybody else around you is doing, it helps you play faster. And knowing your assignment and trusting your teammates is big.
Thanks.
Do one more for Will. Back to Steve Sipple, Lincoln Journal-Star.
How do you think Luke is in that regard, Luke Reimer, in his level of understanding, and how much do you find yourself helping him during like a game like Iowa?
Luke's a quick learner. You know, he hasn't been in the program that long, but every day he's working. We spend a lot of time in the film room together, pretty much every day, talking about responsibility on certain calls, certain defenses against different teams. You know, we'll go through a game, go through all our calls, try to make sure we know what we're doing every single play, and just so we know, no matter what defense we're in, no matter what formation the offense is in, we've got to be prepared and know what we're supposed to do.
Do you look at that final stat sheet that, you know, he has 12 tackles, you have 8, you're the leading tacklers. Do you see, is there a measure of pride in that, or do you just look at the bottom line?
To me, individual stats aren't big. To me, it's always about the scoreboard, and individual stats don't mean anything when you lose. And no matter how many tackles we make, I'd much rather win. And to me, we just got to keep improving and not worry about individual.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Will. Appreciate it. We'll have Travis Vokalek next. We'll switch into offense.